I wanted to show you a little demonstration of how I packed this 13-inch vase with two handles. First, I stuffed it with big bubble wrap. I think it was probably around 6 feet long. And it's all going to fit in there. Now I'm going to make sure that the handles are secured, and I'm rolling up the bubble wrap to put it in the handles. And that one is turning out to be a little loose, so I grabbed another piece of bubble wrap and wrapped it around there, and it made a nice snug fit then. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other handle, and I got that one on the first try. Next, I take it over to my small bubble wrap and I wrap it twice. And the reason I do this is to try to soften the sharp edges. I'm going to get a piece of tape and tape that fast, because next we'll put it on the large bubble wrap. There you see me pulling out a length of it. And now I'm going to wrap that 3 times. This vase is so big and heavy, and I have a few other smaller items to put in the box, so I just want to make sure it's not going to do any damage to the rest of the pieces. Now I take it back to my packing table, and you're going to see that the bubble wrap doesn't reach. So what do? I go to the other table and I cut 2 lengths of the large bubble wrap, and you're going to see me wrapping this with the saran wrap or plastic wrap. And now I'm going to get those 2 other pieces of bubble wrap that I cut and fold it into thirds, because that's how many layers of bubble wrap, the large bubble wrap, I put around it. So now I'm going to put that over top and continue with my plastic wrap. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And see, I folded it in thirds there again. Put it over those handles. This is a humongous vase. Now I'm going to wrap it in its little plastic wrap blanket. Make it all nice and secure so that the bubble wrap doesn't slip or slide. And I keep rolling it around. It's a large vase, as I said, so it requires a lot of bubble wrap and a lot of plastic wrap to make it secure. I'm going around it, and on the next wrap I'm going to take it up and around and go the opposite way to secure all the loose edges. You saw me pressing back there a little bit earlier. I did that to make sure that that space was adequately covered, and it was. After I'm finished with that, I do use the scissors to cut off the ends because I like to be neat and tidy. And now I'm trying to figure out what size box I'm going to need, because this buyer purchased a perfume vanity set as well as this large vase. So I'm using a 16 by 14 by 14 box. And you saw me put that down in there. It fits pretty well. And then I believe I put the 2 perfumes down inside there next, beside the vase. Next comes the peanuts. I will secure the vase and the 2 perfumes that I stuck down there in the empty space. I'm going to secure those, and then I'll cover up everything with the peanuts so that the rest of the items have a nice spongy bed to lay on while they are being transported to their destination. And there you see me putting in the final pieces. And now I fill it with peanuts to the top. Give it a little shake, close those flaps, and then I'm going to turn it upside down because if you noticed I had not taped the bottom. And the reason why I didn't tape the bottom is because I knew that there was going to be some voids down there on the bottom. So now I'm filling the void spaces with peanuts so that there's no shifting during shipment. And now I tried to close the flaps and there's still a little extra space in there, so I'm getting a few more peanuts to fill those spaces. I close the flaps again, pick it up, give it a little shake, see if I hear anything, and I didn't. So now it's time to tape it shut, and I do use 3-inch, I forget what the millimeter is on the tape, but it's nice strong tape. It doesn't bust open or anything. So now I turn it right side up, and I'm going to see whether or not I have enough peanuts in there yet. And you'll see me pressing down, and it's just a little too spongy yet for me, so I added a few more peanuts, and that will take care of that sponginess. And it's time to do the final closure. Put the thank you card in there. Whoops, let me show you it. There you go. And now we're ready to tape it shut. The next step is going to be putting tape there on the bottom. I am double boxing this. If I didn't double box it, I would have to have a box that is probably at least 4 inches bigger than this one, and that would have made it an additional $8 to $9 more in shipping costs. So you see me rolling up those little pieces of tape, and I have really mastered this double boxing thing. There's my foam corners. They are a huge saver in when you want to double box something. The amount of peanuts that I save by putting those foam corners is amazing. Now I'm getting the outer box ready. It's 18 by 16 by 16. If you recall, I said that the inner one was 16 by 14 by 14. When you use the foam corners, you only need to use a box that is about 2 inches wider. And there I put 2 strips of tape across it, and that's just to put a little bit more strength on the bottom. And then I tape the end seams. And again, that is to keep the box from bursting open if something would fall on top of it. Now it's time to turn it upright. And the next step will be putting the box down inside. See how smoothly that goes in? It is amazing. So quick. Don't have to play around with the peanuts. You just put those foam corners on. If the box is longer than this, then I will put foam pieces in between those 2 foam corners. But in this case, that was sufficient because the box is not that huge. So now I put it back up on the table because I'm tall and it just is a lot of work bending over to tape it. So I put it back up on the table and I tape it shut very similarly to what I do on the bottom. 1 strip of tape, across the top and then a strip on each side. And the final step is putting my Miriam's Timeless Treasure sticker on it. Hope you enjoy.